This man is Muhammad ibn Abdul Karim al-Hatami, born in 1301 corresponding to 1883 AD. His father, Abdel Karim al-Khattabi, decided to raise him up his own good education and already taught him the Arabic language. He memorized the Quran and then sent it to the University of Quran in the Moroccan city of Fez to learn to talk about the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, and Islamic jurisprudence. In simple years he became the judge of the channel in the city of Melilla, Morocco, and he is at the age of youth. At this time European colonization was afraid of Muslims to publish Islam in Europe, and this Islam is a danger to Europe, especially the Islamic Maghreb, because it is a factory of heroes throughout history, from which the Mujahideen of the state of Maurabitines went to Andalusia, and from which the forces of the state of the Muwahhid sailed to Europe, and from which the Islamic Light Brigades first launched to Europe under the leadership of the commander. The European countries held the Green Island Conference in 1906 with the participation of 12 European countries. This is the first American intervention in foreign policy. Thus, the United States of America revoked the Monroe Agreement, which stipulates that American non-interference in international politics was the final decision for this. The conference is to divide the Islamic Maghreb countries so as to ensure their definitive disintegration. France took from the Kingdom of Morocco Mauritania, took Spain in the north of the Western Sahara, then took France back to the north of the desert in the middle of the present Maghreb. Morocco occupied Germany, Britain, and the rest of the country's cities here and there. They thought that they had thus destroyed the Islamic presence in the Maghreb country forever, but Sheikh Abdel Karim al-Khattabi and his son Muhammad had another opinion, so they gathered the rival tribes on the banner of Islam and sent the Ottoman Caliph, so the Spaniards shook fear and terror. From that situation, they decided to kill Sheikh Abdul Karim al-Khattabi and already killed him and captured his son Muhammad and imprisoned him in a prison above a mountain and tried to escape, but he fell from the mountain and broke his leg and brought him back to prison again. After a period of captivity, Prince Muhammad bin Abdul Karim came out of prison and was able to be an army of tribes. Moroccan countryside. Abdul Karim al-Khattabi invented a new art, which was the first to use it in battles, called guerrilla warfare. The Vietnamese leader Ho Chi Minh admitted that he took this art from the innovation of Muhammad bin Abdul Karim and fought with it America. He defeated an evil defeat, which is to dig trenches underground. Reached Prince Muhammad bin Abdul Karim, with his innovative martial arts, was able to teach the Spaniards every day a new lesson and a new plan. When the Spanish forces suffered heavy losses in equipment and lives, the King of Spain, Alfonso XIII, decided to send an entire army from Madrid under the command of General Sylvester. 60,000 fighters with the latest military equipment to confront the army of Muhammad bin Abdul Karim, which does not exceed 3,000 fighters, but these are two opponents who contacted in their Lord, so it was really Ali al-Nasser the believers. The surprise was the army of Muhammad bin Abdul Karim al-Khattabi won over the huge Spanish army and killed 18,000 Spanish soldiers and captured thousands. Composed of Spanish soldiers, and only 600 Spanish soldiers escaped from Spanish soldiers who fled to Spain to tell them the horrors of what they saw in the Moroccan countryside and the strength, firmness and intensity of the Muslims there. Hence, Prince Muhammad began to establish the Emirate of the Moroccan countryside in the north of the Islamic Maghreb. In 5 years, Prince Muhammad was able to teach the people the true Islamic religion. He then sent scientific missions around the world and demanded the unification of the ranks of the rival tribes under the banner of Islam. When the Crusade countries saw this Islamic awakening, gathered to eliminate it and put out their awakening, they formed an alliance of 500,000 European fighters with their tanks, planes and battleships to fight 200,000 Mujahid only. The surprise was the Mujahideen triumphed under the emirate of Prince Muhammad bin Abdul Karim in all the battles they fought, causing casualties after losses among the invaders. Here, the armies of Europe were forced to give bribes to some of the elders of the innovative Sufi roads to impact people. They issued a fatwa banning fighting in the ranks of Prince Muhammad. These bribes fought Prince Muhammad, and Britain came and surrounded the coast of Morocco. And Prince Muhammad ibn Abd al-Karim fought the nations of the earth, together around him, of traitors, crosses, and the English, until there were only 200 fighters left with him, and he pointed them out their opinion, and they said, "As for us, we pledge God to the witness under your flag, so fight the fierce lions and inflict heavy losses." Until the Crusader army despair from defeating them, they resorted to treachery and deception. They asked for peace with Prince Mohammed and promised him that all the people of his emirate would secure and give Muslims reliable guarantees on the safety of all mujahideen and provide decent living for all Maghreb people with freedom and independence. As usual, the Crusaders revoked their vest and managed to captivate Prince Mohammed bin Abdul Karim and exile him to an unknown island in the Indian Ocean for 20 years. And in 1947 a message came to Abd al-Rahman Azam Pasha, the first Secretary-General of the Arab League, written on the back of the letter as very secret. He opened the message and found it from the Mujahideen in Yemen. "We would like to tell you. A French ship carrying a captive sheikh in chains landed in the port of Aden today, suspected to be the legendary hero who disappeared 20 years ago. The ship is now on its way to France and will pass tomorrow at Port Said Egyptian port." Azam Pasha rushed and asked for an immediate interview with King Farouk, and there was a secret discussion between them. Then royal orders were issued to the Egyptian officers working at the Suez Canal in Port Said to intercept the ship's road and bring the Grand Sheikh to the royal palace. Indeed, it happened, and the Sheikh al-Mujahid stood before King Farouk and asked him about his identity, and he raised his head and said with all the honors and joy, "I am Prince Mohammed bin Abdul Karim al-Khattabi," and King Farouk honored him and lived the rest of his life in Egypt until he died. If you like the content, please support us by subscribing and activating the bell button to receive from us all the new